Let's talk about today's games. Obviously, Stefanski, Baker, and I think also Case Keenum did not test out of the protocols. Okay, is this the new phase? Is this where we're at now? We're targeting testing now more, right? The NFLPA and the NFL were able to agree upon not testing vaccinated, fully boosted players unless they start getting sick. Is that something that I'm accurate on? And how did they reach that agreement? I assume there was a lot of give and take in that entire thing.
There was a lot of discussion. First of all, on the Browns, so Baker is out because he didn't clear today. Keenum is out because he didn't clear today. Stefanski is still up in the air because he could still clear and he could still end up coaching.
What's that mean?
I'm not sure. What's that?
So they can test 5 times a day. What's that mean? Baker took all 5 and couldn't get a negative, and now Stefanski's only been 3 in, 4 in. And he's looking for his 5th.
I don't think it's that many, but I just know Baker and Keenum were not clear in time to announce it. Basically, there's a 2 p.m. finale transaction. Like when transactions have to be in for players, but coaches aren't under the same rules, so theoretically he could test later. So I don't know that he actually coaches, but I'm just saying he hasn't officially been ruled out yet like those other guys.
So they're just swabbing the shit out of Stefanski's. They're like, hey, listen, let's go. Come on, let's go.
I mean, I assume he's just sitting there and has someone in his nose for 5 straight hours.
Because he's vaccinated.
That's not confirmed, though.
Hey, because he's vaccinated, boosted, and had COVID before. So is he the reason why the NFL and the NFLPA were able to come to terms and an agreement, or is this happening with players as well? What do you think?
So the numbers are so interesting because you have a lot of players on the COVID list, more than 100 players as of last check. 80% have either no symptoms or mild symptoms among the vaccinated players. So, and the NFL talks to a lot of experts. They do all their due diligence. They have all the conversations. And it seemed like what it came down to was people starting to be like, if no one's sick, and not no one, if not a lot of people are sick, then how much does it make sense to treat this like it was 2 years ago?
Stefanski confirmed, ruled out of tonight's game. Ian Rappaport could have broken this news last hour when he was talking to us. Decides to do so via a tweet because they were still waiting to see if he could test out of the COVID protocols, which means find a negative test no matter how many times he was being tested, because you remember Stefanski both had COVID, got the vaccine, got the boost, and once again has COVID again. He, amongst other players and notables of the Browns, were out because of COVID, although most of them asymptomatic, causing this game to be delayed till today at 5:30. It is now official that none of the people that the game was delayed for are going to play today either.
Nope.
So fascinating. Protocols change. The same rulings, though, from Saturday are happening today on Monday. Stefanski officially out, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. And they're down to their 3rd-string quarterback, right? Who is it, Mullen?
Yeah, old Nicholas Mullins, dude.
Here we go.
The dude can sling it a bit, man. I wouldn't underestimate this guy. But
a couple games.
Yeah, we delayed the game, and now, like you said, nobody comes back. But this causes change, though, right? Now we have the different protocols where they're not going to be testing the vaccinated players, correct?
I don't know if the delay of the games necessarily caused change.
Stefanski, I feel like him getting it second time. Dude.
Yeah, I feel like he is a conversation piece in a lot of places right now, explaining their position on why, they might not do something. Anytime that happens, like for instance, there is people looking for reasons on why what they believe is right is right.
Confirmation bias, right? Don't they call it that?
Bingo. Hey, look at you, big old fucking brain.
Holy shit.
A lot of people looking for confirmation biases or bias-I. All right, whatever you.
Sure.
Bi-I, however.
Biasy.
That's
Biasy, whatever the case is. A guy getting COVID, getting vaccinated, getting boosted, then getting COVID again is confirmation bias for, I feel like, probably a lot of people that are feeling one particular way about something. And on the flip side, Kyrie Irving immediately coming back and getting COVID the day he gets it. There's a little probably on that side as well. So you just we all have to understand that the other side exists. They'll forever exist. And I think the sooner we recognize that, the better for everybody. And as the days unfold, there's only more and more reasons for both sides to continue to dig their feet in to the side that they're on. Now, with all that being said, the NFL changing the protocols and the NFLPA coming in agreement with it because of the potential Stefanski or any of the other players that are vaccinated, boosted, testing positive for COVID, but having no symptoms, they make an agreement where if you are vaccinated and you are fully vaccinated, however the NFL is declaring that, you do not have to get tested anymore. So basically what they're saying is if you do everything that we think you can do to avoid getting this, to potentially stop shutting down our fucking league, we will no longer test you to find out if you could potentially shut down our league, is kind of what the NFL said. And that is going to have a ripple effect everywhere, AJ.
That's what I think is the best thing that you've said about that from the jump. Like, whatever the NFL does will trickle down throughout, obviously, other leagues, other sports, just other places, like everywhere. I feel like don't you think they're going to look to what the NFL's done, and then we may find a way to become more efficient with this or figure something out, I guess. But who knows where. I guess we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But you have to self-report to get tested now, right?
Yeah, that's what Ian Rappaport said. They're going on an honor code. And he said, the players have been really good about self-documenting concussions and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, they have, of course. That's why they had to have an independent doctor and eyes on people. But you're right. And, he did say, if you don't report and that thing spreads, you're kind of fucking over your entire team, which I think could be and should be the way that they present that to the team. Whenever they're saying, hey, we're going to ask you if you have any symptoms. Please be truthful, because if you're the 45th guy on the roster and you're having a chance to play this weekend on special teams and you get, let's say, a little bit of a or a little whatever on a Friday, and you're on all the core special teams, and this is the first time in your life you've made a NFL check, you have worked for this, we need you to report that you have the sniffles and you are feeling a little something, because if it spreads everywhere, we're going to find out it was you that brought it in here, and we're going to cut you, even though you might be cut after this game anyways. I just don't know how it's going to go in the self-reporting game, but hey, maybe if you tell them you can't fuck over the whole team, maybe that is a good way to lay it out, AJ.